All right. So, um, I'm still learning a lot about astrology, so I can't tell you a lot about planets and moons and where they sit and how they affect. I'm still working on learning all that stuff myself in this self discovery journey, right? But what I can tell you, if I'm correct, there's like 3 planets in retrograde right now, and one of the biggest things that happen when planets are in retrograde is usually dealing with communication, and then the message I keep getting from spirit during these retrogrades and for this full moon is to release any karmic ties that no longer serve you. So this is the thing about karmic ties. I think I may have talked about it before, but just in case, karmic ties, of course, deals with usually past life or current life lessons that you are to learn. And sometimes being connected to people, they can mirror you and trigger you into emotions and feelings and actions that you probably don't understand why. You probably don't know why you're feeling that way, but you just know it's happening. And a lot of times these karmic relationships can be relationships that are very deep. They can be very close. They can be people who feel a deep connection because usually these karmic relationships are from past life. Now, a karmic relationship doesn't have to mean it's a romantic relationship. I think there's a little bit of confusion sometimes that people believe that your twin flame, which is usually a karmic relationship, is supposed to be someone that you're supposed to be romantic with, that you're supposed to be really close to, as far as that goes. And that's not always the case. Karmic relationships or twin flame relationships can be very, very, very rocky. Right? It can be very, very rocky. A lot of ups and downs, And so even with twin flame and karmic relationships, when it comes to just friends or work relationships, or, it could be anything that you agreed upon before birth to learn a lesson. It can come through anyone. So what I have learned over time in practicing is that you can run from a person, but you can't run from that karmic lesson, right? So what happens is if you don't get the lesson through one person, then the divine will guide somebody right back in your path, and they will continue teaching you that lesson until you've learned and accepted the lesson, and then you have to release the lesson, right? So the whole part of the releasing is, okay, I've attracted these type of people in my life over and over again. What am I not learning? Right? And then when you learn it, you then have to accept it and release it. You have to say, okay, now that I get the message, now I can release that karmic lesson or that karmic tie. So in not releasing it usually can come from, let's say somebody feel like they deserve something because of something they did, right, in the past. And then they get that karmic lesson, and then they feel like they deserved it. Even though they learned the lesson, but now they're still being punished. So when we hold on to those karmic ties, we continue to be punished until we let it go. So when we say don't beat yourself up, don't punish yourself, that's very, very strongly tied to what we mean by karma. So karma isn't necessarily good or bad. If you have a different belief, that's completely okay. But it's not necessarily good or bad. It's simply about what you put out to the universe is what you get in return, right? It's just like good karma, right? Or if you want to call it good karma. Let's say you have somebody who does a lot of good in the world, but they don't feel like they deserve to get good back to them. Then they also could be also blocking a blessing and good karma, right? Because they don't feel they deserve. Just as if someone who's done something bad and has learned a lesson, but don't feel like they deserve good because of what they did, then they continue to receive bad because of, they're not releasing the lesson, even though they've learned it. So once you've learned a karmic lesson, once you realize, okay, I got to stop attracting these people because it's me, it's something in me that's attracting them. Once you realize it's you, it's something in you, then you can detach yourself from the karma so that you can let that lesson pass, and then you can keep going to your next set of lessons that you've agreed to before you were born. And then sometimes we have karma lessons that we create, right? Maybe we wasn't born to go through this lesson, but then since we did something that kind of manifested something, that lesson, we're going to go ahead and learn it now. Okay. Um, a good way to find out some of the karmic lessons that you're to learn is going through your natal chart, your astrology chart. And so I've been doing that lately for probably about a week or so now, maybe a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. And it's a lot about myself that I'm learning. It's a lot about myself that I'm realizing how I move and why I move a certain way or why I have trouble moving a certain way. And so I would highly suggest if you could look at your astrology chart, your full natal chart. I think I use cafeastrology.com, I think it is. And if you can do that, that would be really helpful to understand more about yourself. So okay, so this release, right? So we know the full moon is usually a time to release emotions and just anything not serving your highest good. It's a good way to release. And we know the new moon is when you're like manifesting new things, right? Bringing in abundance or whatever new into your life. The reason why I decided to do this, okay, Astro.com, thank you. The reason why I started to do this type of live is because when you think of the full moon comes, some people get physical symptoms. Okay, you may get headaches, or you may get chest palpitations, or you may get stomach. It's something that starts to happen during the full moon cycle, and that kind of goes through 2 to 3 days before the full moon to 2 to 3 days after the full moon, depending on kind of how strong it is, right? So when we have these physical symptoms during the full moon, it's our body, it's our spirit using our body to tell us that something is wrong, something needs to be released, something needs to be addressed, right? And if we don't address what needs to be released, then the spirit, your higher self, starts to amplify the physical pain, right? Maybe leg pain, like I said, maybe it's headaches, maybe it's head pressure, maybe it's just feeling heavy overall. Your spirit is trying to get your attention, saying, look, you need to stop, take a break, and you need to address something that you're feeling that you need to release. Okay? Especially when it comes to your divination gifts or someone who is a reader or healer or trying to align with the universe more. The more you release your emotional pain and trauma, the clearer your intuition and your connection to the universe gets better. And the reason why that happens is because you got to think of the chakras going from the root chakra all the way up to the crown, right? And in a root chakra can have depression, but the energy of depression can affect you in the crown. See, so one chakra can affect 2 or 3 other chakras. So you have to release trauma, which usually sits in the sacral, which also deals with creativity, right? Which also deals when someone is not sexually aroused or someone has erectile dysfunction. Okay, emotional trauma could be sitting there, and that blocks that area from being able to produce the sexual energy that's needed. So during the full moon, you got to release. During the retrogrades, you have to release the karmic ties. You have to release. You have to also be careful with communication. Try not to have any deep conversations. Try not to make any big decisions. Try not to do anything that requires you to be still, right? You got to be easy so you can actually see clear and feel clear. Focus more on the inner healing. And as you focus on your inner healing during retrograde and you release, you make space for abundance to come in. Okay? Okay? So if you're having issues of depression, anxiety, emotional trauma, sexual abuse, spiritual abuse, emotional abuse, whatever kind of abuse you've had, whatever type of, you can call them negative emotions. Some people say no emotions are negative. They're just a reaction, right? But anything that you're having that's not sitting right with you, maybe it's lowering your vibrations. Anything that's feeling that way, you have to address it and release it. You have to be honest with it. You have to call that energy out by name and release it. So one of the ways I did this today earlier, and you can still do this even after this, is I wrote it. I wrote, okay, peace and blessings to the divine creator, my ancestors, my spirit guides, my spirit animals, my higher self, my inner self. I just kind of wrote a release letter. And I went through and I said, at this time, I asked to release all the following things immediately. I put a colon, and I put a little dash, and I wrote everything I wanted to release. Dash, next thing I want to release. And I kept doing it all the way until I got to nothing else that was coming to me. And then I wrote Ashe, and I just felt all the energies of all the things I asked to release coming from me. Okay? Taking advantage of the full moon energy to release while these emotions are surface. Okay. Now, one of the issues we have is being grounded during the retrograde, during the full moon. So if we don't ground ourselves, then our spirit kind of gets a little lost. It kind of be all over the place. Emotions is all over the place. So we want to be connected to Mother Earth during retrograde. You want to be connected to Mother Earth during full moon. Okay, because again, when these emotions start to rise, you need to be able to release some of that residual energies that you're releasing into Mother Earth to be converted into love and light. So, all right, first thing I want to do is I'm going to ask you all to call in. You're going to just simply say, I call in my divine ancestors and my divine creator. If you want to also call the creator in as well, to assist you in this release. So again, your ancestors and your creator is to assist us in bringing these things to the surface, giving us the courage to release them, and then assisting us in releasing them, right? Because sometimes we just need somebody to kind of guide it out of us. Not that we need somebody to do it for us, but we need somebody sometimes just to help guide it out of us, right? And that's what my job is. My job is just facilitate a space where our ancestors and divine creator can come in and assist us in releasing this heavy ass energy that we're trying to get off of us. Okay. The other thing I want to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to call back your inner self, okay? Call your inner self back to you. Your inner self is your emotional body, what you feel. Call your inner self back to you. And you should feel the energy of your inner self from the heart chakra down to the root chakra. And those chakras deal with what? Feeling, okay? Feeling love, feeling confidence, feeling sexual, feeling grounded. It deals with feel, okay? So you want to call your inner self back to you. Call your emotional body. So if you feel numb during this time, then that means you've allowed your emotions to wander free. You pushed your emotions away so you didn't, hurt, or you didn't want to hurt, so you push it away. But the only way you're going to deal with it is you have to call it back to you so we can then detach from those negative emotions that you no longer want to feel. Okay? Call your inner self back. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to call back your higher self. Now, your higher self, this is your spiritual body. This is your astral body. This is the body that you see when you're in dreams. This is your spirit. This spirit is like the God version of you. This is the person, or this is the energy within you that is undamaged. There's no trauma to your higher self. Your higher self is pure. Your higher self is the same of that of the Creator. It's very pure, right? Our emotional body gets damaged and tells us what's wrong, but our higher self is pure, healed, no trauma, no cuts and bruises, right? So our higher self tells us what we need to do or what we need to release. So the emotional body says, this is what you're feeling. This is what you're feeling, wherever that is. And then your higher self says, okay, now that you know, we need to do this to release it. And the assistance comes in with your divine ancestors, spirit guides, guardians, creator. Okay? And guides include animal spirits as well. Okay? So call back your spiritual body when you feel like you're spaced out. Maybe you feel like you have some mental fog. And we may think it could be a blocked chakra. Maybe it's a blocked crown chakra or third eye chakra. But sometimes we feel empty up in the head. We feel spaced out because our spiritual body, again, not facing things that are being challenged in our life, we push our spiritual body away. So sometimes We have to call our spiritual body back, our higher self back. Sometimes we're thinking about other people so much that our higher self just leaves and just goes and be with the other people that we're thinking about. And then all of a sudden you start to realize after so much time goes by that you've lost yourself. You don't know anything about yourself because your higher self has been spending time with everybody else. Somebody who works like me, I spent probably a couple of years like that until one of my daughters brought it to my attention so I can bring it, back to me. So now I understand I have to go through these cycles of, being out front, but then I have to go in to actually do my own self-healing. Okay, so the way we're going to do this, I am going to first do a grounding of the entire session. And this will work, again, everything will work on the replay as well. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start with a grounding. This healing will not be long. We're going to get straight to the point, and we're going to get this energy out of us. And you may need to do this more than once, just so you know, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do, to include myself, I'm going to ground this space. I'll show you. Okay, when this grounding is happening, you may start to feel a pull of energy at the bottom of your feet, lower legs, as Mother Earth starts to kind of pull some residual energies out of you to prepare you for this release that's going to happen. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to connect this session to the divine light. Okay, light energy. We want light energy running through us because we want that light energy to kind of break up any stagnant energy, break up any negative emotions and feelings, break up any negative entities and negative energies. We want that light energy to break that shit up. And then when we get ready to release, it'll come out smooth, okay? So we're going to connect this session to divine light. You may feel energy come in through the crown chakra and work its way down all the way to your feet. May come in kind of strong, okay? But that's all right. Just take deep breaths through it. Allow the energy to go down all the way to the bottom of your feet because you are connected to Mother Earth and now you're connected to divine light simultaneously. Ashe. Okay. I think everybody should be okay now. So first thing I'm going to do is I am going to ask your higher self to, or you can say it for yourself. You can say, okay, higher self, I want you to release all heaviness of the retrograde and the full moon back to its original source. We're not releasing the retrograde itself. We're releasing the heaviness of the energy of the retrograde, the heaviness of the full moon, because sometimes the full moon could be a little too heavy, a little too strong. So we just want to release the heaviness associated with the full moon and the retrograde. And you have to command it. I command my higher self to release all heaviness associated with the retrogrades and the full moon. I command it so, Ashe. And then once you make that command, feel it. Like feel the empowerment you have within yourself to release. Like allow your higher self to show you that you have this ability to release. Taking a few deep breaths as this energy releases, because as you take the deep breaths in your nose and out your mouth, it will also help release any energies from the retrograde and the full moon that your body is trying to kind of push out so that you can see and feel a little clearer. Okay. We're going to first start with the karmic ties. We're going to start with the karmic ties. Now, again, karmic ties can be all types of relationships, right? It could be romantic, it could be friendship, it could be work relationship. There's all kind of lessons we learn through other people that we attract into our lives. When we attract people in our lives, it's either something we attracted because there's something within us. Maybe it's something that we've embedded ourselves in that we kind of had no business. It could be also just, past life, current life. It could be a karmic tie with a parent, right? Maybe you have a parent that mirrors you and like opposite of you. Maybe that's a karmic maybe that's a karmic relationship. So next thing I want you to do is ask your higher self to surface, because I want you to feel it, surface any karmic ties that you have learned the lessons from. Surface any karmic ties that you have learned those lessons from. And you may not know what it is, right? But don't worry about that. You just want to ask your higher self to surface it. And after you release it, maybe it'll come to you in a dream, maybe it'll come to you in a vision, maybe it'll come to you to somebody 3 days later or say something to you and you'll be like, oh yeah, I did learn that lesson. So your higher self will reveal it to you when the timing is right, divine timing. But right now we want to release the attachment so we can see it clearer. So again, I ask you to call on your higher self to bring all karmic ties that you have learned the lessons from. You've learned these lessons. Bring it to the surface. And then again, just feel. Feel in the body where you feel the energy. If you feel pain, feel that pain. Feel if this is pain that you've been feeling and you wasn't sure where it was coming from. Maybe you was having knee pain in your right knee and you didn't know why you started having this right knee pain all of a sudden, right? Again, it's your body's way or your spirit's way of manifesting what energies are attached to you in the physical body, because we tend to react to pain, more than any other way of communication through spirit. When it hurts, we pay attention, okay? Okay, now at this time, you're going to ask your higher self. You're going to take that back. All right, back up. You're going to command your higher self. I command my higher self to release all karmic ties that I have learned the lessons from and any karmic ties that no longer serves me. Ashe. I command my higher self to release all karmic ties that I have learned the lessons from and any karmic ties that no longer serves me. I command it so, Ashe. You want to go ahead and release it. And then I want you to, again, feel where the energy is coming from. If you feel it coming from your heart, okay, maybe you're holding on to a love that didn't necessarily serve you anymore. Maybe it's love, that's dealing with a family member. It can be love with a child that you need to let go because they're doing something that you might not approve of, but it was a lesson you still had to learn in it, okay? Maybe you feel it coming from your sacral because you had a sexual attraction or intimacy with someone that no longer serves you, but it was a lesson you had to learn in that, so it's time to let it go, okay? Maybe you're having some energies coming from your legs because, again, there was something in your childhood that you went through that you need to learn a lesson that will come back to you in your adulthood. Now you've learned it. Boom, let it go. Let's let that go. Okay? All karmic ties that no longer serves you, release them to the light. Release it to the light. Let the light take it. Now, there's a thing I like to call karmic debt. I call it karmic debt. Karmic debt is basically like when you owe the universe, right? You've taken so much from the universe, to include people, right? And things around you. And you haven't given anything back. You haven't given anything back in return. So then it's like a karmic debt. Like, we can't bless you. We still waiting on you to, do your part, right? Sometimes when it comes to karmic debt, we can take on other people's karmic debt because maybe we feel sorry for them. We don't want them to go through pain and suffering. So we be like, I wish I could just take that from them and because I don't want to see them hurt. Well, that karma is their lesson to learn. It's not yours, right? So even someone you love who's going through something they're supposed to be going through. Now, karmic debt ain't the same as a curse, right? But it can mimic each other, right? A person may be going through something and you think that it's an attack or it's something like that, and it could be karma. It could be karma related. So if it's karma related, you'll know because, again, you'll ask command your higher self to release any karmic ties or karmic debt associated with whatever you're going through. And then you'll be able to know the difference. So if there's karmic debt that doesn't belong to you and belongs to someone else, and you have absorbed it, maybe intentionally or unintentionally, because sometimes we do that. We want to ask our higher self to surface any karmic debt that doesn't belong to us. Again, you're going to command your higher self to surface any karmic debt that doesn't belong to you. Bring it to the surface, and then feel. Feel where the energy sits on you. Feel where the energy sits within you. And the reason why you want to feel it is because you may be, again, having phantom pains or pressures in places that you don't know why. And this may be showing you why. You're absorbing other people's karmic debt. Okay, let me go ahead and also say this. During these releases, you can also have issues with nausea, headaches, lightheadedness, physical pain, pulling of energies. You can also have some muscle spasms as certain energies get pulled out of certain parts of the body. You can get muscle spasms. That's all common, okay? So to assist with that, I'm going to do another grounding. I'm going to reground this session to Mother Earth, Ashe. I'm going to reground this session to Mother Earth. Boom. And you should start to feel, again, waves of energy leaving out the bottom of the feet into Mother Earth. So with those karmic lessons that are not yours, that karmic debt that's not yours, again, because we love people, we want them to have their own karma. You know, we got our own karma to deal with. We want to give them theirs. So at this time, you want to command your higher self to send all karmic debt, not mine's, not yours, right? Any karmic debt that's not yours, I send it back to its original source. So it goes back to the person that it belongs to, so they can learn their lesson and they can get past it. So I command my higher self to release all karmic debt that doesn't belong to me back to its original source, Ashe. Okay, and just remember what I said is that even if you don't know, hold on, I almost got myself off of here. There we go. Even if you don't know exactly why you're feeling something in a certain place in your body, remember, just always ask your higher self, ask your divine, ask your spirit team to reveal it to you so that you can know exactly why you felt it there in that particular place. So an example would be if you felt it in the wisdom teeth and the mouth. The mouth would be part of the third eye chakra, right? Be part of the third eye chakra. And the third eye chakra can deal with what? It deals with visions and psychic abilities and receiving dreams and messages from spirit. But it also deals with stress and creativity and intuition, right? So it also deals with those things as well. But asking your divine to reveal it to you would be the best course of action, okay? Because I definitely can't read everybody that's doing this, right now with me. Okay? All right. Now, you've released the karmic ties that no longer serve you. Now we need to release the... hold on. Let me back up. Okay. Before we go do that, I need to go and help with nausea, because I think there's a lot of people dealing with nausea right now. Okay? So at this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a cleanse to assist you in releasing the nausea. Okay? Okay, I'm going to call on the Divine Creator to channel anti-nausea through our entire bodies. So if anybody who's having nausea issues, the energy that's going to flow through you is going to relieve that nausea. Okay, so as this energy flows to you, just give it a little bit to release, and then you should be okay. Okay. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is channel divine light energy. Okay, again, we connected to the divine light, but we want to also channel the divine light through us. So at this time, I'm calling your higher self. I call on your higher self to channel divine light energy through your entire body. Okay, so not everybody's a healer here, right? But because I'm a shaman, when I talk to your higher self, I can request your higher self to do certain things. You can always tell yourself, to deny it, to deny the command. Okay, but I can help activate the ability to channel for the session, even if it's not part of your spiritual path. It's just going to be for the session. So as this divine light starts to channel through you, you may feel a lot of tingling. You might feel some pains here and there in the body trying to release. So just let that flow, okay? Okay. Let's see. Okay. At this time, ask your higher self to release the energies, the heaviness of the full moon. Release the heaviness of the full moon, okay? I think we did that earlier, but just want to make sure. Okay, hopefully by now, those who have nausea should start to feel better. Okay, I'm gonna do another grounding. Okay, all right, so this last energy I'm going to run through us, and we're going to get ready to wrap it up, is we're going to channel peace, love, and happiness through our entire body. We want to channel peace, love, and happiness through our entire body. Okay, so at this time, I'm calling your higher self to channel peace, love, and happiness energy through your entire body, time infinity waves, until you no longer need it, Ashe. And again, just let that energy lighten up on you. Let that energy flow through you. Let your mind, body, and soul become peaceful and relaxed. And hopefully you can bring a smile to your face, and you can start to just feel good, raise your vibrations. Just allow the divine to just let this good energy flow through you. Let this be a time for you to just kind of lay back and just receive, okay? Just receive. Just allow this energy to flow through you, okay? Even if it hurts a little bit, just let it flow, because it's going to pull everything out that you don't need. So just let it flow. Take a few deep breaths as you let this energy flow through you. And when you breathe in, I want you to breathe in some intentional energies, right? I want you to breathe in love or light or happiness or whatever comes to your mind. And then I want you to breathe out anything that you don't want, okay? Or you can just tell your higher self to breathe out anything not for your highest good. Okay, and to help with that, I'm going to say Haki, say Haki, say Haki. Random. Okay, Joker Ray, Joker Ray, Joker Ray. Okay, so you might be feeling a little bit of drained. So just to recharge you, what I'm going to do now, what I want you to do actually, is I want you to call your energies back to you. See, we all operate from different energies, right? We all have our signature energies. That's how we can feel who is who. Like, this feels like Baba. This feels like somebody else, right? You can feel the signature of the frequencies of the individual energies. And sometimes we forget what we feel like because, again, we pay attention to everybody else, right? So at this time, I want you to call your energies back to you. Call your energies back to you. And when those energies come back, I command that you're filled with your own energies, Ashe. When you call your energies back to you, you may notice you start to kind of feel normal, like feel like yourself, right? You want to call those energies back because no energy feels better than your own, right? Unless it doesn't. And if it doesn't, I mean, you got some work to do. You got to do something, change that energy around, Ashe. Okay. Well, I hope everyone was able to get some relief during this live cleanse and healing, and grounding, and channeling. And I hope you all rest well tonight. Or if you're watching this later, I hope you're able to rest well after watching it so that you can allow your soul to adjust to the new energy that you're feeling, right? Sometimes it takes one night's sleep or a nap for your body to adjust. So if you can afford to go to sleep right after this, I would highly recommend it, even if it's just a nap. So peace, love, light, and blessings to all of you. Thank you for sharing this time with me. I hope you all have a good night, and I will see y'all next time, I should.